Hey, what's going on with Family Torsion T's Guitars? Talk about pickups, what we do, right? So, I think that we talk about Alnicos and we'll talk about ceramics, and we've had guitars with Alnico pickups in them. It sounded great, and we've had guitars, and our ST1 guitars are ceramic pickups. So, how does T's Guitars choose what pickups go on what guitars? Um, so Alnico is aluminum, nickel, and cobalt. Alnico, right? Those are the three components that go into that, and there's different variants of that. The various number of designations have different ratios of those, giving them different tones or sonic qualities. You have Al 2s, 3s, Alnico 4s, 5s, and then you have Alnico 8s. And then you've got ceramic pickups. So I was talking to we were talking this morning, early this morning, about a new unit that we're coming out with, and that's going to have noise canceling pickups in it, right? Hopefully, we'll see what the cost is on it, but noise canceling pickups, and uh, and so we kind of got into talking about pickups because with noise canceling pickups, it's generally um, ceramic pickups that are used in that. And a lot of, I'm going to tell you something. So, again, this is subjective in its personal preference, whether you like Alnicos or you like ceramics. So, when we build a guitar, um, it's a process, and one of the biggest processes of building a guitar is getting the right pickups for each guitar individually. If you look at the SBH guitars, that one is just, it's tonally correct. It works. You know what I mean? We put a lot of time and a lot of effort, and in even the angle of the pickup as when we set up the guitars and send it out to you, that where it's set up at is going to give you generally the best sustain on that particular pickup for the bridge. And the bridge pickup on that is that's the home run on that guitar, is the bridge pickup. It's so versatile. But the ST1, we made an ST1 and we made an ST2, and the difference in the ST1 and the ST2 was Alnico 5 pickups versus ceramic pickups. And when we were picking out pickups for the ST2, that was a process, man. I mean, we went through probably 40 different lines and different types of configuration of magnets and the composites that go into the magnets and things like that, in order to come up with that. And to me personally, I love the way the guitar sounded, but it was still lacking something. It wasn't. It was more of a, this is this type of guitar. It's blues and jazz and you know, kind of soft playing music. It wasn't all around good. And when I say all around good, again, I want you to remember that this is all subjective. It's 100% personal preference. And some of the biggest names out there on stages, when I was growing up, anyways, they played with ceramic pickups, and a lot of the guitars today, high dollar guitars, have ceramic pickups in them. Um, all the big brands, in other words, it's not, you know, they all just use Alnico pickups. It doesn't it's just not that way. So we have come to find that with our ceramic pickups, the way that we made them and the way that we do them, and there's a certain amount of time that they have to be wax potted and things like that in order to make them just as effective. And the wax potting is not for the tone of the pickup, it's to cut down on vibration um, in the body of the guitar, you know, with all the stuff that's going on with vibrations to the string and things like that. So, and we've nailed that on the new SPR. I think this is the best pickup we've come out with on this run, on this line by far. And when I say that, um, I think it's even better and more versatile than the Alnicos that we had on the ST2. Okay, so a lot of budget guitars, and I know because I bought them and I played them, they have what they call Alnico 5 pickups in them. You can make an Alnico 5 pickup that sounds like ass. That's for lack of a better word, right? I've played them, you know what I mean? And to me, they sound like that. It sounds a little dark, a little muddy, things like that. But you know, you're paying more for an Alnico than you an Alnico magnet than you are for a ceramic magnet. So ceramic magnets are cheaper, but does cheaper mean worse? Some of your Alnicos, Lawlers, right? I mean these are expensive sets of pickups. What's the other one? A couple of them, but for Alnicos, Freelands, bare knuckles. They're high end manufacturers, right? And so they cost a lot of money. So do we spend the extra money on import pickups just because they say that they're Alnico 5s? And I can tell you by testing dozens, not a dozen, but dozens of Alnico 5 pickups, I'll say that one out of like 20 was just something that I would even consider putting in one of our guitars. So when other budget companies are out there just putting Alnicos in there just to say they're Alnicos, that doesn't mean that they sound good. It just means that it has a name on it, Alnico. It's kind of like Alnico. It's the same thing. An Alnico 5 pickup can sound like crap, and I can tell you because I checked dozens of them. Some of them are microphonic. Some of them are they just sound like you're playing in a closet with a lid on it. Some sound like you're playing in a bathroom. Some sound absolutely wonderful. We found that the ones that sound absolutely wonderful, manufacturing wise, would add another probably $50 of cost into putting it on a guitar. So if you have $50 worth of pickups on, say, $180 guitar, that's never going to work, right? So for that $50, you're going to have to mark that guitar. It's going to have to be up in the $300 range, close to it, anyways. At least, you know, it's guitars. They cost money to make. So again, being subjective on the whole matter is, what do I think a pickup should have? I think a pickup should have a little bit of everything. I think like in a 5-way switch, like on a Stratocaster style guitar, you should be able to get a lot out of that. You should be able to get a good bridge to where you put some gain or some overdrive on that. You could play any kind of heavy metal that you wanted to play on it. The same thing with the second position. In the third position, I think you should still get a lot of twang out of it, the same as in the bridge, but you should have a little more depth, a little more, what do you call it? Kind of like a deeper, you should have a little more bass in it. And then when you get up to the neck position, that position right there should also have some twang in it, but it should be smooth as silk, right? With a medium low, concentrating more on your upper three strings to bring out that heavy deep, and then also without sounding like you're in a closet playing, but also with the beautiful tones of your G, your B, and your E string, right? So that's kind of how we make our decisions on what pickups go into what guitars. And it's not that I dislike Alnico 5s. I just think that in our guitars, in the Strat style guitars, we just get a lot more out of the ceramics than we do out of the Alnicos. So there's not a huge difference except for output on positions 1, 3, and 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on an Alnico, and there's a pretty big difference on 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on the ceramics, which again opens up versatility for the player, which is you, and allows you to play different genres of music on the same guitar. So yeah, that's kind of what we do, where we're at with it, and how we're doing it. And I just thought I'd share it with you. It's pretty interesting, all the different metals, or ceramics, and all the different things that go into different types of pickups, and all the different sounds you can get out of them. So again, pickups are subjective. I like to think I have a pretty good ear, and I believe I do. And so when we test our pickups, the final decision on the pickups is it's not a group thing. It's entirely, I say this is what we're going to do, and it so far so good. I can say that, so far so good. If you have anything to add to, ceramics versus Alnicos, put it down in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share if you can, or if you want to. I appreciate it. Tease Guitars appreciate it, and as always, family. Rock on, and we'll see you next time, man. It's kind